Yeah, it's Continental 5. Now I'm live with Mikey T, the movie star. You heard?
Continental 5, man. I really appreciate you joining me tonight on the podcast. What is
Yo,
going on with you, G's?
staying out the way, working on shit, just getting to the money as usual.
Hell yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. Any new projects you're cooking up right now? I know that you had a couple of videos right before, was it right before the pandemic or was it right in the middle of the pandemic?
Right in the middle. Right in the middle. That shit was the hardest shit to film because everything wasn't open. So, am I working on something? Yeah. I just got to get back up top to really kind of get in the studio and start picking shit or recording shit.
Any indication of a title or anything like that? EP, street album, something for iTunes, Spotify?
Probably an EP. I still haven't put out an EP, so I'm gonna just drop one and get it over with, or drop two and then focus on something else.
That's what's up. Good to hear you are still in doing music. You know, Continental 5, aka 25. Can you explain that to me, man? Like how you got the name or how you decided to come up with the name? You know, are you named after a Bentley? You know what I mean? Back then when you first switched it up, I was like, damn, that's kind of like, Maserati Fox. You know, he has a car in his name. Or was it
Ferrari
Lincoln Continental?
Nah, the Ferrari F50, everybody was using car names. So at the time, niggas kept giving me slack, like, yo, you only popping because, you related to 50. So I was like, oh, word, all right, well, I just changed the whole name. And I wanted a Bentley at the time. So I said, all right, Continental 5. I'm gonna just run with that. Again, Fox had Maserati Fox, Ferrari F50. Everybody had like car names. So I just said, all right, Continental 5. And it stuck. It took.
Yeah, also the 2.5, it made sense when I heard it because it was like that's half of 50 Cent. Is that the logic behind the name, or am I just dead wrong about that?
Yeah, well, when he came out with 50 Cent and he was running with that, I didn't want 25 Cent. Me and Yayo was just joking one day, like, yo, here come the bag of chips, the quart of water, that's 25 Cent. Hey, you know what I mean? It just stuck.
So, going all the way back, can you tell the people, everyone watching, where you're from? Were you from 134 and got Brewer, or was that just where you moved to?
Yeah, I'm from 134 Gap. So growing up, I was on 111 in Merrick. I grew up over there, but me and my father started to fall out like around early. So my grandmother just said, you just come live with me. And that's when I moved to 134. So I would go from one side of Queens to the other side and one side, just going back and forth. But I stayed on 134.
So I was going to ask what the family environment was like that you grew up in. You know, did you live with the grandparents or the
Yeah,
immediate family, mom and dad?
I lived with my mom and my father for a time. No, for most of my childhood. But by the time I got to like junior high school, like sixth grade, I moved from there with my parents. Then I moved to my grandmother's house, which Curtis was there, my grandparents, my other cousin. That's a house full of people, and it was cool, man. It wasn't really like nothing crazy. Well, to me, everything that I experienced was okay, but to everybody else, it may feel like, well, damn, that's a lot of shit going on over there. But no, it was cool for me.
So as we all saw in the movie Get Rich or Die Trying, 50 lived in the basements while his other siblings lived upstairs. Can you verify this?
Yeah, yeah, he did stay in the basement for a time. But shit, I stayed in the basement after he stayed in the basement. So I mean, it was just a room, for real, for real.
Where did you sleep and how was it growing up in a household with so many kids?
Um, the household it wasn't. It was just me and Curtis, for real. There wasn't no other kids. Everybody else was aunts and uncles. And it was like maybe two or three aunts and uncles. But no, three people. Uncles. Yeah, three. We all had. I mean, I had a room. Curtis had a room. Everybody else had to figure out where they was gonna go.
So how was it growing up in Queens, man, in the 80s and 90s?
Shit, the early '90s, not the '80s. Don't date me. It was different because it was a different kind of energy around. Like on my side, you had Kev Leak, you had Mutt, you had Curtis, you had JoJo, and then on the other side down the block, but basically you had Preem, then 40 and all of them. You had Chad. So I mean, it was a different kind of. It was real. It was real aggressive, not real aggressive, but it was real stand up shit. And you had to be a real stand up dude to even stand on certain areas. Like on my block, on 134, you got Rochdale, and then you got the back blocks. Now, to get money in anywhere of them areas, you get money in Rochdale, you get money in the back blocks. But to stand on 134 and say that that's my block, that's a different kind of energy. And it's only a handful of niggas that could actually do that or done that in that area.
How would you say Queens has changed from back then to, back in the days to now?
Gentrification, gentrification. The dude, as far as the guys, back in the day, it was I mean, I guess the rules is the same now. The difference is the money is not there. You know what I mean? Like back then, you go outside, and as long as you got the block, then you are the man. But now it's like there's no block. You going to stand on the boulevard for what? Get your ass arrested. So back then, you caught name off how many blocks you had, how much money you had, the new car you got. Now it's like nobody's on the block to see you in that new car. So what you buy it for if you don't really, really want it for real?
Also, tell me about the Queens hip hop scene, how it was and how that has changed from then to now.
Okay, so my block is special. We had everybody, like we had every, I mean, we had the Lost Boys, Freaky Ty, then you had my peoples, you had 50, you had Banks, Yayo. You had people who always wanted to stand on that block. So again, you move the drugs out the way and you put in rap, it's the same type of thing. You had to be somebody to be somebody. You just couldn't say, all right, today I'm the man around here. No, we got to know you from something. So back in the day, it was dope because it wasn't, niggas wasn't trying to be rappers. They were trying to sell drugs where I was from. So the rappers were actually rapping and famous for rapping. So you can go 10 blocks down and they know you over here from rapping. Now it's everybody raps. Everybody got a website. Everybody got a podcast. So it's oversaturating the market. I got out and did something totally different. I had to get money elsewhere because it's oversaturated, bro. So the scene now is I'm not gonna say it's corny, but it's like everybody's rapping. You know what I mean? Everybody. The nigga that was selling drugs, he's the rapper now. He don't want to sell drugs. The girl that want to rap, she running with a team over here. They may not be doing nothing, but they got the equipment in the house and they trying to come up with something. They killing time. You know what I mean? So it's just one of them things where you got to be right place, right time. I would rather go back to that era, the early, like late early 2000s, before I go back to it now. It's trash now.
How did you first get started into making music and why did you start rapping in the first place?
Well, it was more so Kurt. I keep calling him Curtis. 50. He had got his deal with Jam Master Jay, so he'd just be in the basement all day. So I said, "Fuck that! I'm going too. I'm going too." So he'd be bringing dudes who know how to rap, and they'll teach him. But I'm sitting there too with pen and paper, learning how to put it together. So as soon as I saw him go, I was going. If he was going to go to the street, I'm going to the street. I was just following him. But when I started doing it, I developed my own love for it and my own type of style with it. So it became fun. And then I started to just do it and was actually really good and separated myself from what niggas is doing now. See, that's again, even back then, you couldn't just rap to be rapping. Like if you wasn't on a Clue, a White Owl, uh, Famous, Cutmaster C. I'm missing somebody. I'm Big Mike, Superstar J. If you wasn't on those mixtapes, you just local. You just local.
When you say the basement, did you mean literally the basement at your grandmother's or the
Yeah.
basement Sha Money had them all working out of?
No, no, no. I've been to Shy a few times, but no, my grandmother's house. Like I remember meeting Jay from writing in the basement. I'll tell you a story. We were Curtis go to me like Curtis 50 go to me like, yo, man, go upstairs and get grandpa car keys. So I was like, all right, fuck it. We going out. I went upstairs, slid through, snatched the keys, boom. We went to Rosedale, the studio in Rosedale, and I didn't know we was going to see him, but he was going to pick up, I think, beats or some shit. And I remember meeting Jay. He's like, yo, what's up, man? Just, had the cane going. I'm like, oh shit, that's him from TV. But I remember he had like a bag full of fucking Sega Saturn. You remember what I'm talking about? Sega Saturn? He had a bag, like a suitcase full of video games. And I remember going, yo, listen, so can I borrow one of those and he could bring it back? And they bust out laughing. Because I'm just looking at the games. I'm not even paying attention. Like I know that's Jam Master Jay, but I'm looking at the games now. So now I'm locked onto that. And they bust out laughing, man. I had so much fun, man. I had a lot of fun early.
That's what's up, man. Damn, how old were you at that time? I remember Sega Saturn came out. It had a brief period.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was early. I can't remember exactly how old I was, but I know
I must have been like 9. I must
if
have been
that,
like 9 or something.
if that, what? That was
Maybe
like before PlayStation, wasn't it? No, that was after
it was
PlayStation. No, it was
before
around the
PlayStation.
same.
Yeah, I was saying
Okay,
they were trying to compete. They were
okay,
trying
okay,
to
okay,
compete.
okay, okay.
I had
I
never
know.
got that, but they had some exclusive ass games for that shit, so I could see why you wanted to take that home. I could see why
Man,
Master Jay would have that shit.
he had. I could tell why he had because he traveled all the time. So they was already getting ready to go on tour. So I'm looking at the bag. Like the first, I'm like in awe because this is Jam Master Jay. 50 over here talking to him regular, and I'm like, damn, this is Jay. Then I see him pick up the duffel bag. So I was like, oh shit, he got Saturn. Yo, let me get this one, the Virtual Fighter. So yo, let me get this real quick. Let me play it for the weekend. He bring it back when he comes to the studio. Nah, shorty, I need that.
Wow.
I remember that.
That's crazy. Did you ever get the chance to ever mingle with or work with any of the Queens natives like Prodigy or Cormega, Nori, Bravehearts?
Capone. Yeah, I kind of at that time, I'm G'ing it so hard. You know what I mean? Like I'm around. So if it don't go over there, then I ain't going over there. If he don't fuck with these niggas, then I ain't fucking with him. So because it can get crazy at that time. You can get yourself hurt if you really don't know what side of the track you on. So no, I didn't fuck with them niggas because I didn't see my niggas fucking with them niggas. So I stayed away. You meet these niggas in passing, know like, yo, what up? And you keep it moving.
So going from there, how did you link up with Big Findy for the Come Up DVD?
DJ Famous. So I was fucking with Famous. Like Famous was like, yo, give me he got one of my songs from my manager at the time. My name is Yana. And Yana sent him the song and he was like, nah, I need this nigga, man. I need it. What's up with him? Got up with Famous. I did a few mixtapes with him. The city responded crazy to it. So Fendi off the rip was like, "Yo, give me him. Let me rock out with five." So I did the come up a few times, and then when I did the come up, I kind of just fell back from it. Fendi always showed me love. Like I fuck with Fendi. Fendi was the only one that didn't play the yo you blackballed or if these niggas don't fuck with you, I can't fuck with you. Fendi was like, nigga, come on, let's go. I always fuck with Fendi for life for that. But from me fucking with Fendi, me and Gravy was always cool. I know him off the mixtape scene and the mixtape, DVD era. I was fucking with him. Nicki Minaj was cool. I met her once, but I knew her because of that. Like, when you in that circle, you in that circle. So at that time too, White Owl was their DJ. So me and him just picked up from there, and I think him and Fendi and Nicki went the Gucci, and Fendi was like, fuck it. Gravy said, I'm done. Me and White Owl just looking at each other like, yo, so what we doing? How we gonna do this? And I kind of pushed him to do the mixtape. So I'm like, yo, you know what? He hit me up one night, like, yo, I need music. I sent the music. He said, what's the name of it? I said, I don't know. Go and drop that. And from there, it's history.
Yeah, can you tell me about going on to develop a relationship with White Owl, you know what I mean? And, creating those projects together before his passing?
So White Owl is one of my guys, man. I miss him. I truly do. I met him through Fendi. And when everybody fell apart, he would hit me like, yo, Five, I don't want to stop. Let's go. So we just kept going, and he would be going into the stores, and they be on him. He's white, small. They think they can take advantage of him. So me and my peoples would just go with him to drop mixtapes off, and then they're when you go into Sadu on you start meeting people, Brooklyn, Queens distributors, Red Child, and I mean, you start running into people who actually can move the. I was about to say product, but the mixtapes. So he took me to the city. We running in the day on the Canal Street. So he just looked at me like, yo, I need a niche. Like, what can I do to separate myself from everybody else? I said, well, you got to start fucking with the young boys because niggas Clue at the time had everything. So I'm like, yo, you got to start fucking with the niggas that's coming up. And I did some drops for him, and I just was like, yo, White Owl, drop that shit. And he's like, yo, I'm just going to use that as the first tape. We put that shit out and did damn near 30,000. He looked at me like, nigga. Well, he didn't say nigga, of course, but he was just like, yo, bro, what the fuck? This shit is flying. So we did more, and we did more, and we did more, and the shit just kept selling, kept selling. Shout out to Kevin Garnett because he reached out and shouted us out on MTV because of that. So, it just picked up, bro. It just picked up at the time.
Yeah, man. The Southside General, hosted by DJ White Owl, gets nominated for a Justo Award. You were also nominated for the Best New Artist. Can you tell me about getting your buzz up to actually get that recognition?
I was in the studio with Stack Bundles, rest in peace. And I had this joint with Biggie because they was doing the Biggie duets. So I submitted mine, and it was the rapper slash dope dealer slash gorilla rapper. So I just somebody gave me the beat, I just killed it. And I was with Miller. If you know anything about Desert Storm and over there with Stack, Miller was the engineer. So Miller was like, nigga, this is hard. Threw the shit on a website, and I think the shit got like 200,000 plays. And Stack looked at me like, you up, G's? You up, G's? You next? And we just, because I would record there now at that point, and it just kind of spread because niggas, people already knew who I was, but I'm more laid back. I'm not trying to go to the club. I'd rather go play pool, or I'm bowling, or I'm going on the block. I'm not trying to go pop bottles and spend my money. I'm not doing that. But because I didn't do that, it made my presence a little different. Because now everybody like, well, where's he at? Where he from? I know he's from over there. They co-signing him. So why he don't come out? And it's like, well, I'm in a different kind of scenario than you. This nigga just sold 12 million records. I can't just be outside hanging out with you niggas. I gotta have a gun with me. I don't know who y'all are. And he would tell me all the time, yo, niggas will do you in just to get a name. So watch where you going and who you hanging out with because them niggas will run while you over here fighting. These niggas might be thinking something else. So I just always kept it in my brain. So wherever I went, I was just cautious and I made sure it was a controlled environment and I moved the right way. But because of me doing that, it just was more mystique around me. I didn't hang around Kirk 50 all the time either. I wasn't making it known. I wasn't doing that. I was kind of over here on the side doing my numbers. And with White Owl and Fendi for real reaching out and famous, shit just took me way past everybody else. And then literally at that same time, Stack died. So Queens was kind of like right there.
When DJ White Owl was nominated, do you remember, any of the DJs that he was up against? Like, do
Yeah,
you remember if he
everybody,
won?
everybody. He did win. He won. I lost. I found out that they paid for that award. I think it went to Joel Ortiz. but it's a politic thing. He was signed, I wasn't. They just was using that to promote him. But other than that, I was winning that. I already knew I was gonna win it because I knew the people who was. I knew Justo. Let's get to that part. I knew Justo, so I knew what it was. But when I didn't win, it was like, all right, it's all right. I got the name. That's what I really wanted. So he won because you really couldn't deny him at a certain point. You couldn't even just say he was trash. You'd be looked at as hating because he really did have the street. So you had to respect him.
You had mentioned stack bundles. I didn't want to get away from what we were talking about, but do you have a stack bundle story you can tell us? Anything you could share with the audience, or maybe just how you got in a close relationship with stack bundles to the point where you guys were in the studio vibing?
Well, when you hot and you getting your name in the town, it's a small circle. You know what I mean? So I was with Mo Bills and John Depp. Those are Banks cousins. So I was fucking with them and they took me over there. But as they over there, it's me, John Depp, Mo Bills, Frenchie, uh, YB. It was a few of us. And then Stack had his Far Rockaway niggas there. So we going into the studio trying to record. They already recording. So it's like one crew over here, one crew over here. And me and him ain't really get a chance to talk. What's up? Keep it moving. But the next time I went by myself, he there by himself. So we was able to just politic and just shoot the shit. And that's when he was like, yo, I'm about to go fuck with Jim. Like, all right, we'll do your thing. But I was literally recording in the same spot. So I'd get there before him, he'd get there before me, and we just worked. Yo, listen, that's one nigga. He shouted me out right like 2 interviews before he died. And he's like, yo, there's another nigga coming up in Queens. It's UG's. You next, you got it. And then boom, my nigga got killed. Damn. But it was definitely fun because he put the Porsche out. He was bringing cars out. And I'm just like, oh, this is what we doing? So I brought the Suburban out. I'll just come outside. You know what I mean? It was a competition of who can get and show the most. So me and mom was gonna compete because he was going crazy. Once he bought that Porsche out, I knew it was game over though, but I still wanted to compete. So I got the Suburban. I had shit, Axmail Murder. I had what 25s on them shits. I had like thin ass tires. I drive through Brooklyn all the time. I remember that shit. Damn, I missed that truck. I had two 12s in the back.
50 Cent once said in an interview that he didn't want the music industry to chew you up and spit you out. No freaky for the people watching this. But do you think 50 Cent didn't want you in the music industry because he wanted to protect you?
Yo, I spoke to a lot of OGs about this shit. Matter of fact, one OG from Brooklyn was like, yo, he trying to save you, right? Like, what the fuck you talking about? Fuck that nigga. I was hot. Fuck that nigga. I don't want to fuck about this shit. He's like, yo, he's saving you, right? What you talking about? He started telling me the names he had issues with. And mind you, I'm in Brooklyn, down the block from the projects these niggas be at. And he like, yo, he's really saving, looking out for you, right? And I'm like, explain. So shits go, yo, you are a walking like a nigga bang you. He gotta come from off that pedestal and get busy. So what he doing is making sure that them niggas look at you and don't feel no way. They ain't gonna look at you and go, yo, that's his cousin, kill him, like how they did Rich Porter's brother, Darnell. So and the funny shit is about that, he would tell me, yo, be careful. Niggas will get to you to get to me. As a kid, he would tell me that shit because of his status in the neighborhood. So yeah, I do think so. Even the conversations we have when we do see each other, it's like, oh, okay, I understand. But you shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have said that still. But it's still, I let that nigga to death, man.
Yeah, you're Continental 5. You're still in the hood. You're still accessible technically. 50 Cent is a star. Do you think it was, unfair that you have now inherited all the beef because you're the next of kin?
You got it. For me, niggas don't remember when he was boo boo. I do. I was on that. But yo, listen, he would come pick me up from school. wasn't supposed to leave school third period. He go right to my elementary school. I went to PSA in Rochdale. So he come there, sign me out, and put me on the boulevard early. And we just sit there for the whole day. And he, yo, smack that nigga. He owe me money. I gotta go smack you. And I gotta tell him, yo, my bad. Bye. You know what I mean? What you want me to do? He told me to smack you. I gotta smack you. So he was grooming me early, but the shit got intense. It got intense. Like, so check this out. I got to high school. I went to Springfield. And when I went to Springfield, I would go to school with the Trackmaster Averex leather. And then on top of that, I would wear from the Onyx video, the Kill 'Em in the Club. I had the hockey jersey that had 50 Cent on the back. I would wear that to school. I would wear all his shit to school. So niggas knew where I was and what was up. So he was just like, yo, just, be careful. And he come pick me up. He had the Benz at the time. He come pick me up. But it's just, you never knew what he did. I watched the nigga. I ain't gonna say the man name. I love him to death. I got love for him, so I ain't gonna say the man name. But I watched the nigga keep a nigga in the car, like open the door. Nigga, you come out the car, I'm gonna punch you in your motherfucking face. And cause I was dead serious, and I'm looking at the dude like, you gonna stay in the car, close the door, my nigga. Don't come out that car, cause he was a knockout. Person that hit you and knock you out. There's a few stories of him doing it. So the nigga didn't come out the car, by the way. He stayed in the car, closed the door, just like I figured. And it was so for me growing up with this shit all my life is nothing for real. Like, oh, okay, what's up? I didn't run from it because I'm raised to it. Like he could tell you, yo, I don't want you to go outside and do this. Well, you shouldn't be shooting guns. Well, nigga, you showed me how to shoot the gun. What are you talking about? Now you don't want me to do it? All right, fine. You know what I mean? Like you raised me this way, and then now when I want to do it, you looking at me like, nigga, no. Go do the. His words to me was, yo, go chill. I got the money. I'm gonna send the money home. Just chill. And I'm like, no, I don't want to chill. I was so angry back then too, because I felt like niggas did him dirty. After the nigga got shot, like I could tell you the story about that. After the nigga got shot, I'm looking at everybody like, yo, why y'all niggas ain't coming around? Why we ain't going to put no work in? What's up? Niggas ain't one bride. So now I'm up at the hospital just trying to figure out that, yo, when the niggas, yo, where everybody at? Nobody came. So I learned early what it was outside. Early, as a young boy, because I was under him.
I want to talk about the name 50 Cent. Why do you think he decided to name himself after an actual gangster from the Fort Greene, Brooklyn?
That's why. And he changed it. It symbolizes change, which I liked it, but it was from a nigga, it was from a guy's name that we all knew and heard stories of. So he just took it and made it that.
So there were also rumors that you had beef with former G Unit member Bangum Smurf and his artist Domination. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, what was it about, or if it was just a rumor?
That's a rumor. Smurf is, I don't know. Listen, I know why niggas was intimidated by him, but I wasn't. You know what I mean? So as soon as he came back, first nigga, yo, what up, nigga? And we just laugh and hug and just talk. Like, bam, Smurf was cool. He just, again, I grew up with these niggas. They from the block. So why would it be different now? You know what I'm saying? So, and Domination, I went to school with Domination. So what we talking about? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why nobody would think it was. You know what? I said on the come up, I dominate any Smurf. And I spoke to Damo. Damo said, nigga, you funny as hell. I said, nigga, I'm just playing with words. It wasn't like a diss or no shit like that, because he knew what I was doing. But that's my man. I know he up top right now. I don't know how much longer he got, but free Damo.
Yeah, free Domination. How would you rate Bangum Smurf's loyalty to 50 Cent?
7. 7, just because when you fell out, you was disrespectful. Now, if you fell out and was just like, yo, that's my man, I don't know what happened. That's loyalty. But as soon as you get into altercation with a nigga, you just go fuck that nigga. That's anger. It's a different kind of emotion. You know what I mean? So for me, if you would have just came out and yeah, that's my man, we going through it, but I'm doing my thing now. I'd have respected it. I still respect your move now. You know, you felt like you did at the time the best decision for you, which it was. You know what I mean? Like that was one of them. But you could have at least left the door open to go back over there and fucked with them after some time passed. You know what I mean?
Do you think there's any chance of that door ever opening again
Hell,
between them Smurf
hell,
and
I
50?
want to let you finish that one. Hell no, that should never be fixed. For what? For what? You can't even come over here. That's the shit that sucks. My nigga Smurf, man. Shout out to him.
You know, I've been following your career for a while. I wanted to ask, why did you diss Rick Ross?
Really? Really? Are we really asking that? Yeah, listen, it's hard for me, man, because I never wanted to be associated with G Unit if I'm not gonna be able to be G Unit, like the artist G Unit. So I'm like, yo, you know what? Curse would tell me all the time, nigga, show me something, man. Go do your thing. Make me a believer. So I did. It was to a point I was outselling their mixtapes. So I did my numbers, but at that time, now I'm hearing the shit he's saying, not knowing what he doing, and I'm like, man, fuck that nigga. So now I'm on my angry shit. But then when I could say fuck him, but you better not say fuck him. You know what I'm saying? So once I hear certain shit, I just get in my feelings like, who is these niggas? Fuck that. Hold up. Real quick and go record the shit. And it's going right to White House. So it's gonna circulate. So it's like, all right, man, anybody who said something I didn't care for, I'm going. It wasn't on no I'm beefing with you shit, but it was just competition. Kept me in a certain light as well. So
Maserati Fox was G Unit dumb out, not immediate G Unit family, but you know, kind of like an umbrella, aka 1090 dumb out. Did you feel like you should have been down with G Unit or possibly down with Maserati Fox's set? Or did you and Maserati Fox actually have beef?
nah, first, let me get to the first part. No, I didn't want to be a part of the dumb out. For what? My cousin's your boss. Why would I do that? You know what I mean? Them niggas was cool. I'm Rich De Niro. I know they all from I'm from 111. That's where my parents lived. So I go to the park, which was St. Albans, it's right down the block. But the dumb out the towers is right there. So I know Jaffe, I know everybody over there. I grew up, we was on the same basketball team. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
for me, I just was like, all right, y'all do y'all thing. I know who y'all are. Yeah, nigga, Fox was living in my not 50, but my other cousin's house. So all this shit is like, you know what I mean? It's in a circle. And did I have beef with him? No, Fox just was talking shit. I remember he just was going off, man. You know, 50 got me here, and this nigga, I never, yo, listen, I went to that corner. I went to that house. I went to the corner of his block. I never forget that shit. I went to the corner of his block. I had my hammer. I'm waiting for the. Soon I was so mad. I was going to jail anyway. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm just dumbing out myself. Somebody come out that crib. I'm gone. Yayo never calls my phone. Never. Yayo called me like, yo, Five, what up, baby? I was just busy. What's up with you? I said, yo, what's up with this nigga Five? He like, yo, I told him what was going on. He said, yo, just go home. Go home. By that night, it was taken care of. So if it, let's say it happened at 1 o'clock. By 4 o'clock, it was already like, nigga, you touch him, this is what is gonna be the outcome. And that's when I was told. It was like, nah, it ain't nothing. I'm just trying to, just keep the music shit moving. You know how Fox. I don't know if you know him or not, but he talk fast. Trying to move around, baby. That type of shit. So it wasn't nothing crazy. I was just angry. I was going to jail, so I was like, fuck it. If the next nigga say something to me, I'm just gonna do it to him. And then when I figured out what he was doing, and he told me. So I'm like, oh shit, man. All right, all right. That's when I realized he was literally living with my cousin. He was so close to the family. Whatever.
Yeah, that actually makes sense because Domination had told me in the past he ran into Maserati Fox at a club, and they spoke about, just like you and Damo spoke about the Come Up DVD, they spoke about the street DVDs, and Maserati Fox had told him something similar. It's just to keep the momentum going.
Fox was just fucking with everybody who was moving at the time. I took it as a compliment because Fox is not a slouch. Don't ever get fucked up. He robbed the liquor store. I mean, the gas station where my mom's is in. Like, yeah, that's. I remember Fox as a kid. He's not no sucker. You know what I mean? So you pick me out of all these niggas in Queens, but it's a safe bet because at the same time, nigga, you know who I can call. Well, why? You know, it wasn't what I made it in my mind thought it was. He was just shit talking. 50 got me lit. I can't remember exactly what he said, but I'm like, man, I'm not gonna go on camera and tell you the shit I'm lit with. You know what I mean? Like that's just not what I'm doing. So I was like, fuck it. I was so hot, but Fox is just a real. He was a real nigga, funny as shit. Yeah, I kind of I missed the shit out of him. Man. I was disappointed when he got killed. Man, rest in peace to Fox. I knew he was coming home, man. I was ready to see him. You know what I mean? But shit happened, man. Everybody we talking about is like people I know. Like I know these dudes personally. A lot of these other rappers just be talking. They don't know nobody. I'm embedded in Queens. I know everybody who's somebody. Don't matter. So Fox, I miss him because he kept the energy. He brought it. Don't have that energy no more. The rappers that's out now that be trying to run around with every other rapper, they wouldn't even be nothing because Fox was around. You know what I mean? Fox FO was one of the niggas that he had so many little niggas under him that he didn't have to do all the dumb shit. But he'd hype you to go do the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, nigga slapped you? You let him slap you, nigga? Yeah, niggas playing like that out here. Like, he one of them kind of niggas. So I kind of miss that. Queens right now does not have that kind of energy. Like niggas my age now is the big homies. We kind of controlling the pace, but the niggas my age now, we all know each other. Niggas ain't really trying to go at each other. It ain't no Brooklyn. It ain't no 40 versus Baisley versus Rochdale like how it was. Or Laurelton versus this side. And it's not Shadyville versus that. It's not that no more. Everybody getting money together. Everybody fucking with each other. Everybody living in the same environment. So it's kind of different. The young boys is moving different too. So it's all different.
With G Unit and Dipset, which group do you think had the bigger cultural impact?
Unit.
You're from New York.
Cultural impact. Wow. Damn. Wait a minute. Hold up. See, Dipset, they brought the clothes, the design, fashion. They brought that to the table. Cam had a pink fucking Range Rover. You know what I mean? Like it was that energy. But then when you look at 50, he brought the music, the mixtapes. Niggas wasn't doing mixtapes like that until niggas came around. So he brought the thug look. So most niggas had their vest on. They had do rags, the hood shit. They brought the hood. It was all fashion and choice, but I wouldn't say one had more than the other. But if I did, I'd say 50 of them had more because bigger artists.
Well, since you bring that up, I want to ask, why do you think G Unit clothing didn't work? Some would say it's a success. Some would say no, it wasn't, because G Unit clothing kind of fell off the radar, just like Rockaware.
Um, I don't think it fell off. I just think he just stopped pushing it. The sneakers was fired. Nigga, let me find a pair of them right now. I'm gonna buy. You know what I mean? Like the sneakers was official. The clothes, I never wore the clothes. To be honest with you, I never wore it. I never put a G Unit shirt on. Not to say I would, disrespecting and shit like that, but it was a different time. Nigga, the throwbacks was popping at that time. The button ups, he was doing button ups at a point. It was a lot of them. Sean John, Rocker, Ware. What was the Russell Simmons joint? Fat Farm. It was so academic. It was so many different brands that it's like I have so much shit. I don't have time to wear this shit, or I'm gonna wear this shit. And it was you know, to each his own.
Do you feel Banks and Yayo were wrong for not supporting the brand like they should have? 50 was going off about them not wearing the shoes and wearing Christian Dior and Louis Vuitton. What would you have done if 50 came to you, with a big bag of
Um,
clothes? Would you have rocked it?
well, if he gave me anything, I was wearing it regardless, so it didn't matter. That's my I get money from that, so you know what I mean. Like, let's promote. But as far as them being wrong, no, they were just moving in the time. I just think they was looking at right now and not down the line. If they'd have looked down the line, it'd have been a different outcome. Because at the time, you competing with Sean John, Rockaway, Fat Farm. Nigga, that's G-Unit. G-Unit apparel, G-Unit clothes. You know what I mean? So it's like y'all got your own window. And you're getting paid from it. They wasn't thinking business, if you ask me, at that time. They wasn't really thinking that. They just was wearing the shit that niggas wanted to wear. So I understand them their position, but then I understand Curtis. Like, nigga, I'm paying y'all to wear the shit and y'all not wearing it, so I'm taking the check back. That'll fuck me up right there. I'd wear that shit all the time. If I'm getting paid, I'd have had a G-Unit hat for every color, the shirt for every color, the pants for every color, the jeans, I mean the sneakers. I'd have did what I had to do. I'm getting paid. When that check stopped, G-Unit stopped.
What did you think when Cameron started using 50 Cent's government name against him? Did you recall everyone in New York City saying it?
Yo, listen, niggas will fuck with me because they know who I'm related to at the time, but it didn't bother me. Nigga, I was saying Curtis earlier in the interview because it's a habit for me, so it didn't bother me. I was like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? For me, it didn't trick. I think everybody else thought um, it would impact in a certain way, but I think he made the next album, Curtis, and then I think he was doing skits at the time too. So it made sense. I mean, he turned it around and made it look good and funny, but Cam was dead serious. Cam wasn't playing. He was having fun too, but I know he had some shit going on with him. But
Yeah, I know you call 50 Curtis, but like you've done it in the interview, but how do you think he felt at that point about the general public beginning to do it after Cameron? He's only 2 albums going into his third deep, at this point.
yeah, but you gotta look at it like this, bro. He sold 10, 15 million records the first one, 12 million records the second one. Really didn't matter. Didn't matter what Cam said. You know what I mean? It had no effect on nothing he was doing. He's still the bigger artist. He just sold that many records. Jay-Z dropped 10 albums, and I think he sold, let's just say 10 million. I know it was more. I know Hard Knock Life was like 5 or 7, but every album after that was 1 or 2, right? He did, Curtis did it in two, or 50 did that in two albums. So the niggas you signed to, I sold more records than from 50's standpoint. So I don't really give a fuck about you calling me my government name. I'm gonna just turn it into you promoting my album now. The album name Curtis.
Where were you when you heard the news of your cousin 50 Cent getting shot, and how did you react to that news?
I was on 111, and I was on my mother's house, and my neighbor Dion, he called me like, "Yo, son, where you at?" I said, "I'm at home. What's up? You gotta come to the house. Curtis got shot." Stop playing. I didn't believe it. Call me back. Yo, no, I'm serious. I'd have heard about it by now. My family would have called me. He called me back. Don't hang up. I'm telling you, your grandmother's outside. Shaniqua's outside. Marquise is outside. I said, stop playing. Are you serious? He's like, nigga, the cops is all over the place. I'm on my way. So I left 111. I just threw something on. I jumped on a dollar van, and I drove. It took me to. I'm panicking in the dollar van because I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Because he told me a few days before he got shot, like, yo, if a nigga come up to you and ask you if you my brother, say no and run home. And I said, nah, I ain't saying that shit. My grandfather driving. He's right here. I'm in the back. My mom's is right here. I'm like, I ain't saying that shit. Fuck that. He said, yo, look, I'm serious. If somebody come up to you and ask you, are you 50's brother? Tell him no. I said, I'm not doing it. He said, man, yo, I'm dead fucking serious. Then he raised his voice. Yo, nigga, come up to you, say no. He wasn't telling me what was going on. He just like, say no. You want me to deny you? I'm not denying you. So skip that. About a week later, he does get shot. So I'm on a dollar van reliving the shit now. So in my head, I'm like, oh fuck. So I'm not knowing about the issue. I'm not knowing about niggas trying to kill him. I'm in high school. What's up? I just got here. You know what I mean? Like I'm getting popular. I'm popping outside. I'm getting the bitches. What we doing? So I get off at 72 because it was like traffic or some shit, and I ran from 72 to the back blocks. And then I remember as I ran, I started walking. I see all the cop cars, so I'm ducking. And I'm looking around, and I'm like, "What?" So now they walking to me because, of course, they know who I am. They like, "Yo, come here." But as they doing that, Yayo and Mousy and Mark pulled up on me. Yo, jump in the car, jump in the car, jump in the car. And I'm like, "Yo, so what's going on?" So they like, "Yeah, Fifth just got shot." And now when they saying that, I'm like, y'all know what the hospital where they took him? They're like, yeah, they think they took him to Jamaica. So now we on our way to Jamaica, but I'm in the back seat, and this is no offense to them. But now I'm looking at who shot him. Y'all niggas hit him, and I'm in the car with the niggas who did it to him. I don't know. So I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. You know what I mean? Mark was my age. He right here. He was the young boy at the time. He had an expedition. That's when them shits just popped. They just dropped. So he had a blue one. And he'd leaving work, coming to the house, and they snatched him up, and then they snatched me up. So at the time now, I'm not knowing what the fuck is going on. I'm just knowing he hit. And I didn't even see that. So we in the car. So now I'm in the car with my hand on the door because I don't know if Yayo did it. I don't know if Mouse did it. I don't know. So we get to the hospital, and it's 100 niggas out there. Half was from Brooklyn, half was from a block. And everybody was just filing in from everywhere. But as soon as I walk in the door, they rushed me. Yo, what's up? What's up? I'm like, yo, I don't know. I just got here. The illest shit is they had him in the back, and I'm like, yo, my older cousin Stone, he's spazzing in the waiting room. Like, yo, I don't know y'all niggas. I'll kill you all if I find out y'all had something to do with my cousin. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, you got this. I'm gonna go see what's up with him. So Mark followed me, and I saw Tone and Pope, and them niggas look scared to death. They look scared to death. They look like they didn't want to be in that building. Who? Corey Rooney too. I remember seeing these niggas like. I remember seeing these niggas, and I'm like, y'all scared? Again, for me, normal. So I got on the elevator. I went to him. I went to the floor. Mind you, security. They didn't even ask me a question. They just looked at me and let me through. I get to the back. I see him. And he laying on the table. So, it was my aunt. No, it was Sahar, Shaniqua, my mother, grandma. And he laying there. And he's just, and I'm just staring like, what the fuck? And they talking about the doctor came in like, yo, we gotta do surgery. He got shot in the mouth, so we take this out. And my grandmother was, no, leave it. Because he would talk different. So my grandmother walked off and came back. And I remember Shaniqua started crying. And Sahar started crying. And my mom started crying. Mark started crying. My grandmother didn't flinch. And then I was about to cry. And he looked over and tapped my hands. So I didn't cry. I stopped, sucked it up, and I just stood by him. It was like right before summer. You know what it was? We was going to Cancun or some shit like that to do the Thug Love video with Destiny Child. So I'm hype. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be the young nigga in the. I'm gone. I'm wearing the chain. I'm gone. And then he hit, and I'm like, I'm up at the hospital every fucking day, every day. I didn't even go to school. I stayed there. Now I went home to get some sleep. I come back, and then I remember one day I left and came back, and they like, "Yo," I'm like, "Where you at? Why the bed?" Wait a minute. Before we get to that, Foxy Brown came, and they was like, "Yo, she want to come in. Yo, can we let her come in?" I'm like, Shanique was like, "Yeah, it's cool." So I remember seeing her walking, and I'm like, "God damn, that ass is crazy." But I can't say it. But I'm like, "Damn." She gave her a hug, whatever. She went talked to him and then walked off. But I
Foxy.
never.
So Foxy Brown came to see 50
Yeah,
after he got hit.
Ox came, but she was going to see somebody else. But they told her, "Yo, he's over there." So she went over and saw him. But I remember it was a brown, I think mink or some shit like that, and it was blue jeans. I just was like, God, we got to get on. We got to get on. So I came to the hospital and he was there. Was like, "Yo, he's gone." I'm like, "Gone? What the fuck you mean gone? Gone? Why nobody told me?" So he went up top, and I remember it, like a few weeks later, he just rang the door. Mind you, wait. So niggas is sitting on the house. So now, whoever did whatever happened, there's niggas sitting on the house. So I'm in the house. I would have to call my neighbor and go, "Yo, walk to the store, but take the conduit and tell me if you see somebody at the corner." And then I'll tell my other neighbor, "You'll go the other way towards the boulevard. Tell me if you see somebody in the cars." They're like, "Yeah, there's a nigga on the conduit on that side." All right. So now I'm not going outside. If I got to go outside, I got to go through the back door, hop the fence, and walk that way because these niggas is they on go time. And if I got to come in the house, I got to come in through the back way. So it was crazy. And I remember one day the doorbell rang. Oh wait, niggas kept bringing me guns. I say that now. My older people's from Pabanok, Lost and World and Stone. They just was throwing me hammers like, "You take this AK, take this nine," to just throwing me guns. So I had so many guns that I would just put them in different places in the yard. That way, if ever I was outside and I seen something draw up or a nigga walk up, I got something close to do something. So I remember one day the doorbell rang and I opened the door. He like, "Yo, what up, nigga?" I said, "Oh shit, I didn't know you." Mind you, he was fat the last time I saw him. Now the nigga, I'm like, "You working out?" And he was cut. So I'm like, okay. So I moved with him up top. I stayed with him up in Pennsylvania.
Okay. That was 50. 50 came back. He had.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He came back and just was like, "Yo, you ready?" Wasn't even. I gotta go to school. So he's like, "Yo, you ready?" I'm like, "Ready." A few times we went to Shy House. A few times we go up top. Like that was. I had so much fucking fun. Believe it or not, I had a lot of fun. It was just us. We played bullshit, basketball, workout. That nigga was fucking my body up with the workout. I couldn't do it. I had to tap out after a while. Because what he would do is the old school take a deck of cards and whatever you flip, you got to do that many push-ups. So if you flip over a king, that's 20. You flip over ace, that's 35. You flip over the joker, that's 50. So and every other 5 and 10. So you got to do the whole deck. Once as you do 10, all right, get another card. You got 50, all right, do the 50, all right, flip over. And I'll be like, "Yo, my nigga, give me a minute. Give me a minute. This shit hurt, man." But he would just do that shit like 4 or 5 times a day, just bullshit. Go to the gym, wake up. I'll wake up. He coming back in from the gym. Lunchtime, 12, 1 o'clock, he going to the gym. By like 6, 7 o'clock, he going to the gym. So I'm like, man, I'm not doing all that. I'm playing video games right now. I'm in high school, so or junior high school at the time. So I wasn't even focused on it. I would do it just cause, but
You had just said, when you saw Foxy Brown, like, we got to get on. So how long was it after that Eminem called and y'all got on?
I want to say I forgot when he got shot. But it was like I think he got shot in '01. '02 was getting itself together. No, he got shot in 2000. 2000, I think 2000. I think 2000 he got shot. And then
So it's like a good year and a half before he gets.
yeah, but it was more of a he didn't want to come around because he was still weak. So 6 months after he got shot, this nigga's swole. He's got measles out this motherfucker because he working out crazy. But that's when he was writing for Puff. So he'd go up top. He'll drop me off at the house. He'll go do what he got to do. Come back, pick me up. We go back up top. So I remember my grandfather had passed on my father's side, and I went to Atlanta, and I came back, and I'm listening. I'm like, wait, what happened? This is right before M. It was just M. It was just Shady. So I'm like, that's where we going? All right, fuck it. You know what I mean? I didn't. Dre wasn't even involved at this point. It was just a talk of this. And I remember he told me, yo, son, you can't come. And I got hot. I'm like, well, why the fuck I can't go? I want to go. He's like, yeah, but if something happened to you, how do I explain to your mother, my favorite aunt, that this happened to you? You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to hear that at the time, but now as an adult, I'm like, oh, okay, because I can't take my little cousins with me certain places because I gotta be responsible for you. And if anything happens to you, I gotta own that. You know what I'm saying? So I get it.
So did that kind of disqualify you from going and doing anything like, you know what I mean? Like with the in the club video shoot, like were you not involved in anything like that?
Mm-mm, couldn't go because if something happened, these niggas is getting hit first. He'd be gone by then.
Suge
But
Knight
I,
showed up.
yeah, but I'd be the nigga who got hit because I'm trying to go fight. And we was all dumbing out at that time. So it's like, he's like, nope, I'm not taking you. Nope, because you're not gonna listen. You're gonna do something, and I can't control that. And how do I explain to mom or your aunt, I mean, or to auntie that you got hit or you got killed or you got something happened to you, God forbid. You know what I mean? So, but at the time, I wasn't trying. I was more so. I was still going. I just would go. I wouldn't go to the club dates. I go to the actual shows when they come around. All right, I'm in the back. We got like Summer Jam when him and Smurf was fighting. I was in the VIP seats. I was up in the press box. They just would always want to keep me away from shit. Like, yo, if something happened, I can't explain to your mother something happened to you.
Did 50 say something about that? Like Smurf showed up and threw chairs at us.
No, I didn't even see him after that. It was what like at that time he was gone. He come back every once in a while, so it wasn't like enough time to say, "Yo, do this, do that." He'd send word to my mom's like, "That's how we talk now." Yo, do this. All right. Yo, can I? All right. So shit like that. Like he would just send word, but I wasn't worried about Smurf. Smurf was Smurf. You know what I mean? Like again, we all know each other. So we used to split beef patties before this shit, and I'm supposed to be scared of you now or feel intimidated or nah, nigga, what up? You know what I mean? You can still get a gill. You can still get joked on. It's for me. Everybody else ain't me though, so you can't talk to him a certain kind of way. You know what I mean? You can't talk to a nigga who's ready to go that kind of way. You don't have that relationship with him.
Did you watch the Supreme Team documentary on Showtime?
No,
It's produced by Nas.
nope, didn't watch it at all.
You know, I spoke to Bimmy, who's actually a member of the Supreme, former member of the Supreme Team. He said he didn't like it. He said he didn't like it because the story wasn't exactly accurate. Do you think Nas was the right person to tell the story of the Supreme Team?
No, it's cool. But I saw Bimmy's comment, and that's why I didn't watch it. Was Nas the right person? It don't matter. You got to have people that want to stand up and tell that story. If nobody want to tell a story, then what's the point of us watching? So now I got to make up shit to make it fit in the story because the niggas who really wants to can't do it.
So a lot of people feel a certain type of way about a song 50 released early in his career called Ghetto Quran. There was actually a lot of people upset when the song was released. They just couldn't understand why he was dropping so many names on that song. And the streets didn't like it. They didn't view the song as
No, no,
homage.
no, bro. That's all wrong. I was outside. Niggas loved that fucking song. Loved it, including the niggas he was talking about. It's the other niggas who was trying to they can't it's the nigga who's like, damn, that's Boo Boo? Nah, he doing good. Nah, fuck that. I don't like that shit. It's the hate. Because if I recall correctly, Preem liked the shit. Tata, he named mad. I can't even go down the list of names, but them niggas have to like it because he's keeping your name alive. Nigga, you got like 25 to life. You in jail for the rest of your life. Nobody's even worried about you right this second. The only thing we can go off is the shit you did. And what you did is the reason why niggas is making songs out of it and we respect it. You know what I mean? Like right now, you go to that project and ask anybody about Fat Cat, they couldn't tell you nothing, or Preem, or anybody. They could tell you Bimmy, because Bimmy around. But these niggas is in jail. And at the time, Preem was running around, in fact. I met him one time. I'll never forget that shit. Short nigga with different color eyes. I remember he's at 72 gym. That's where you would hang out at on 134. You go to the gym, watch the niggas play ball, or you play ball and niggas smoke, sell drugs, do your thing. And I remember I came out, he just came home. He had a jean jacket suit, the jacket and the pants. And I remember that's him. Okay, I moved right the fuck away because I'm young. I ain't supposed to be over here. You know what I mean? Let me walk that way. So I never forget that shit. Yo, what up, nigga? He showed love because I was walking with Cuzzo, but I'll never forget that part. But niggas love that song.
What was some of the other feedback going around back in Queens at the time
About what, Fifth?
about the Ghetto Quran record? What was some of the other feedback going on about the Ghetto Quran
Niggas
record?
just wanted to hear their name. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, nigga throw your name in a joint. Let's say somebody that's new threw your name in a record. You like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I did my work. You know what I mean? Niggas respect it. So that's all that was. Niggas just wanted to hear their name. So niggas didn't hate it. And then you got to remember that's still Boo Boo. It's the nigga that still shoot you, still punch you in your mouth. Like he still had that reputation and was still outside. So go ahead and say something crazy if you want to. Nigga do you dirty on that boulevard or anywhere you at. Like that's one thing back then that I wish was out now. The niggas was real street niggas at the time. And they was still able to pull up on you and do it to you, and niggas would keep their mouth shut. There were no cameras out back then. You know what I mean? So now, oh God, you couldn't even throw a rock at a nigga without a fucking Ring doorbell or a fucking camera somewhere catching everything and then using that shit against you. But back then it was love.
How did you feel about Irv Gotti going to the radio stations and actually, producing actual paperwork stating that 50 Cent basically told the police he was stabbed with a butter knife? Do you remember that when Irv was going around to all the stations?
Let me give you this story. I was on my way up to that radio. I was on my way there because I went before. I was like there 2 nights before, and he recorded the corner bodega. NY ain't the same as OT player. You can go and cop coke from the corner bodega. It's the highway and take it to a town near you and get that money, man. I was there for that. And he went back with Yayo. And my man Mark, he had the expedition, so they went up there. You know what I'm saying? I think I came over there late and I missed them when they left. So I'm about to jump on the E train, then go up to the. I'm calling the studio to try to get, where am I going? I know the E is such and such, but where do I get off? How do I get, I'm trying to get that kind of information. And after a while, I know that they wasn't picking up. And the nigga came home laughing. He like, yo, some nigga cut me with a butter knife. He was so fucking bad that they cut him with a butter knife. Like he's like, yo, I got cut with a butter knife. But then when you realize he's like, no, wait, it wasn't a butter knife. He backed into a speaker. The speaker, because they had the handles, like the handle would be like this, and the speaker would sit on it. So when he was fighting them, he backed into it and it hit him in the back. I guess they pushed him into it. So he like, man, these niggas lucky I didn't fucking kill him. I could have did it to him. The handle was right there on the couch in the other room. If I had access to it, we wouldn't be no 50 Cent right now. But he was pissed more that he like, yeah, y'all niggas, all of y'all niggas came in here and none of y'all niggas did nothing to me but this little scratch. And he was more pissed off about that than he was of anything else. Like, yo, y'all could have at least did something. Y'all didn't do nothing. But you gotta remember, He was boxing. So he knew how to use his hands. So as soon as they came in, he already knew what time it was, how to throw it, and they felt it. Pause.
And can you tell me, man, if you know like how the 50 Cent and Ja Rule beef originated? Like was it
So
over that altercation with Murder Inc? Maybe he was
no,
in
no,
the
no, no. Everything you heard was right. Everything you heard was right. That's how it started. Where the nigga got robbed, and well, 50 knew the nigga who robbed him. So to be totally honest, just to back up a lot of the shit he be saying, I had his chain. I never forgot. I had her cell phone. Yeah, I remember I called Puff. I called Missy. Buster was like, "Yo, what up? Who this?" I'm like, "Yo, what up, nigga?" But he thought it was her. But I just had the phone. You know what I'm saying? It was the oh shit, it was a the SkyTel page of joints. The SkyTel joints. You flip it over the flip and you text them joints when they drop. I tell you this too, nigga. I haven't even told 50 this, but I got one. Them ships was expensive at the time, but I wound up getting one. And my name was the Boss 25. No, the Boss. And I'm watching my shit load because it was like Nextel or some shit like that. I'm like, well, whose information is this? It was Irv shit. So I'm dead serious. His name was the Boss at tmail.com. But when I named myself, when I put the name in the boss as the owner of the phone, all Irv shit stuff up. So I'm talking about pictures. I found match. I was texting Puff. I was texting Puff like, yo, I'm about to sign 50 cousin. Puff was like, yo, Playboy, you would do that, leave it alone. You would do that, leave it alone, Playboy. Yo, I had so yo, listen, if I really break down how much fucking fun I had with this shit, man, golly.
So 50 Cent was actually coming around with Ja Rule jewelry back in the day.
I was wearing it. I wear that shit outside. That it was, he took it. I remember he showed me the watch. I remember all of that shit. I mean, you gotta remember I was there for it. Like none of them niggas that's around, Yayo's the only one, but move him to the side because he wasn't coming in the house like that. I'm the only one who really knew what was going on. When this happened, when that happened, like I never forget that shit when me and Shaniqua was fucking with the phone and called Buster and Missy. Once they answer, we hang up real quick and laugh, put the phone down, go upstairs. The shit start ringing. He be like, yo, who touched the. It's just it's funny. Like for me, that's just memories. But to somebody else, I wish I could have been around that. That's ill. That's ill. I ain't really look at it like that until just now.
So it eventually was given back due to Supreme.
I don't know. I know if somebody gave him a watch. I remember because I put the watch on. You know what I mean? So I remember it was that.
It was a Rolly.
I couldn't tell you what it was. I just know it wasn't something I could afford. You know what I mean?
It was some
But
fly shit.
anything he had, I'm taking it. He'll tell you that shit right now. Don't let me at the crib, nigga. Just watch. Oh, all right, I got it.
Can you tell me if you ever had any dealings with Chaz, Black Can Chaz from Queens?
Yeah, Chaz was cool, but not like one on one because I knew what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew who he was and I knew what time it was, so I kind of played a distance. But we would talk sometimes through Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't fucking with the niggas over there because they had issues with Fifth, or if Fifth had issues with them, I'd be disloyal if I'm over there fucking with niggas I know he got issues with. So I just kind of stood away.
It was stated that Black Can Chaz is the first person who believed in 50 Cent and actually put him on his first tour.
You gotta remember, bro, I was there. I remember everybody who called. Chaz was the big homie in the hood who put his arm around him and made it okay to yo, I'm fucking with him. You know what I'm saying? Put that stamp on him. So yeah, I remember. I remember when Fredro was calling the fucking house looking for features and shit. It was to the point where Curtis was dubbing that nigga so much. I had a relationship. He started calling for me. To this day, if I see him, I give him a hug. Yo, what up, nigga? He would. This is when he was doing Moesha, so he was smoking hot on TV. I'm like, yo, what up, nigga? Was good. He like, yo, how's school? I had my own relationship with him. So I remember everybody that used to call, even what's my man name? E Moneybags. You gotta remember, anytime you call in that house and you looking for him, he ain't had no cell phone at the time. So I'm answering the phone. Who's this? I gotta know who you are. You can't call here and I'm not gonna, you know what I mean?
Why do you think it is that on Many Men 50 said, Slim switch sides on me? I thought we was cool. Why'd you want me to die, homie? Do you know where it went wrong with Black Hand Chaz and 50?
I almost feel I don't know in detail, but I do know if he felt like nigga, how? Why you let niggas do me like that? Because when the nigga got hit, nobody was there. Nobody called. And that I could tell you on fact. Nobody reached out. And it broke my heart. I stopped fucking with niggas from 134 because of that shit. Like, yo, you know he got hit. If it was y'all be wanting him to ride for you. Why everybody moving away? The only nigga who spoke to me was Yayo. Yayo. That's it. Nobody else brought his name up. Nobody else. Everybody went to, get money. Now, oh, he ain't here. I can get the block. It was so selfish. And that's when I stopped fucking with niggas around there. And he would always tell me, yo, these niggas is pussy. They ain't gonna do nothing if something happens. So once I started seeing the shit for myself, I just stayed away.
Why do you think 50 felt the need to do a record like How to Rob? You know, he could have just rapped like Cassidy or Papoose. Why was he the only one to do it like that? How come no one else did it like that?
Because they pussy. Let me be honest with you. He didn't give a fuck. He was on some. You gotta remember, I would. He was boxing. That's how I learned to fight. I go to the gym with him. I learn how to throw my hands. So the industry started catching on to who he was at that time. You know what I'm saying? And Nas was like, "Oh, that little nigga ill. Come on." Nas scooped him up because of that. But niggas was scared of him. They didn't want that problem. And then they heard that he beat up Ja. You know what I mean? So niggas was like, "Word, you over there fucking with premium niggas? This nigga's different." You know what I mean? This nigga's different. So when he's saying he gonna rob you, they took it personal. Like Jay was the only one that was like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna show you." I remember when he came home hyped because he did the response to that. I think the next day. No, it was a few days after. And I remember hearing the beat, and the beat was like some Christmas carol. I said, "You want to use this?" And then the shit dropped. I said, "Oh, I got it."
Best you be a gentleman.
Best you be a gentleman and you watch what you say. That nigga take that. I remember it because that's not what was said. It was they were singing a church like a Christmas carol, and he sung the same melody just with different words. So that they just didn't want the problem. DMX responded, "You niggas fucking with me, half rapping ass motherfucker." It was on what's my name? DMX, and I be the best. You see the rest? That shit. Half rapping ass motherfucker. He was talking about Curtis, oh, 50. Big Pun, I know, said something. The Wu Tang nigga said something. And I just kept remembering, like, damn, all these niggas we be doing now? Because now I'm a kid. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, I know I like half of these niggas, but we had a lot of Brooklyn niggas with us too at the time. So it was Queens niggas and Brooklyn niggas. So we was like, yo, we run into anybody, we're gonna finish it right here.
You know, 50 has stated that he grew up around the corner from Lloyd Banks and Tony Yayo. Did you know Banks and Yayo from the street as well?
I went to school with Banks. Banks was a quiet kid. He didn't really want to come outside like that. He go right to Shy House, and that's about it. You know what I mean? Yayo was the nigga who was selling his pieces. He was getting his money. He just doing his thing. I know Yayo since a kid too. Like Yayo was always around. That's why I love him to death. I would tell niggas right now, he's my cousin. Like he's family. That's how much he's and how long he been around. So yeah, I knew them.
And how far behind them was Bangum Smurf?
Smurf, I don't know where he lived on the back blocks, to be all the way honest with you. Everybody in the back blocks, you kind of went to school with each other as a kid, or you just knew each other just playing. You know what I mean? I would consider him a fucking. He was a back block nigga, but at first I thought he was a Rochdale nigga because I didn't know you from being around here. You just around here. I didn't know what house you live. You know when you grow up around the neighborhood. All right, Banks live right here. Yeah, you live right there. Shine them live over here. We live over here. You know the house. I didn't know where he from. He just was over there.
And do you have much to say, or could you say much about when 50 Cent went to boot camp?
Yo, there's pictures right now floating around on the net of me and him then. He just, I can't remember it all in detail. I know they made the nigga pick up rocks and sticks and shit. I wasn't there, so I couldn't give you the details. I just remember going to like family events that they would have, and we'd be there just bullshit and playing. Well, not playing, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and I imagine by that time he was already out of the crib, not living at, with you
No,
at
he was still
grandma's
living
house.
at the house. He was still
So,
at the house.
I mean, when he had actually went to jail, though, was he like, yo, I'm gonna have to go sit up, but I'm not gonna have to sit up for 3 years?
No. He got locked up for drugs. I think it was at school. So I can't remember. I was a little kid at that time. All I remember was the boot camp, and it wasn't boot camp first. I think it was some group home shit they had him in at first, and then he went to the camp, and I think then was jail after that. No, I don't want no jail. I think that camp was it. So I can't remember in detail, but I remember going there and seeing him and shit. Back then, you catch a drug charge or a gun charge, you could go do boot camp. So the easier time.